will be able to understand this very comfortably. Bhavyasri, please. Anybody who has certificates in today's class will not get a certificate. Is that okay? Since day before yesterday evening, everybody is only asking about certificates, is it not? Bhavya, you will get a certificate, don't worry. Right. So, what did we say? First day we spoke of data analysis. We said, we learned what is data science. Then after learning about what is data science, how to analyze data. And please understand one thing, whenever we are talking of analyzing data, we are talking of analyzing billions and billions of sets of data. You just imagine the number of times you do phone pay in a day, and you collect all the data of everybody who has done phone pay today in the last 24 hours. That is the kind of data set we are looking at. So in such a big data, we have, in order to gain some information, we do data analysis. And on the first day, we said data analysis we do using Python and R. Right, sir? Everybody agree with me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please quickly. Now, on the second day, we started with Tableau. Tableau, what did we see? All that complex programming that is required to analyze the data will not be very comfortable for users like you and me to understand. At least not me. You people are computer science people, you will understand. I am an electrical engineer. I will not understand anything. So I want something which is simple, which the moment I see, I should understand. And that is the bridge we built. That is the bridge we tried to build yesterday using Tableau. Tableau was one tool. Today, which is going to be our final day of the session, final day of this boot camp, we will conduct many more such events in future. Today, we will learn about one more specific data visualization tool, that is Power BI. So listen, and this Power BI is a Microsoft-based product, if I'm not wrong. Now, coming to the faculty who is going to teach us today. Our faculty today is Bhuvan sir. Bhuvan sir is having an experience of around 15 years in the industry. He has been associated with, he's a senior manager in Accenture, and he has been working with Power BI for a very, very, very long time now. This is the kind of insights that Bhuvan sir can give us today is going to be significantly large. As we did yesterday, as I did not do it yesterday, please make it a point. Let there not be any break in the flow. They do not ask just because there is a chat box. Do not type. Last 15 minutes to 20 minutes, I'll ask Bhuvan sir to give you time to answer your questions. Bhuvan sir will answer them without any problem. Take a pen and a paper, note down whatever your doubt is, and ask it in the end. That will be more comfortable. Until and unless it is something significantly important, you can raise a hand there. Now, I think that is enough of introductions today. I'll hand over the class to Bhuvan sir. Bhuvan sir, are you there?
Yeah, Raghu.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for the quick intro. So anyway, I just spend a minute on my introduction. So myself, Bhuvaneshwar Reddy. So usually everyone call me Bhuvan. So I work in Accenture, and I have around 17 years of experience. And currently I am working as a software development manager at Accenture. And I deal with multiple Microsoft technologies and also generative AI. So today we will be learning about Power BI, why we need to use Power BI, what advantage that we are going to get from the Power BI, and also a couple of samples and how it will be useful for you in your day-to-day activities. That is what I'll be covering you. So let me quickly start with PPT. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Oh, thank you. So as I said, so let's understand what is Power BI. As we already know that it is used for data visualization on a very high level. That is a single word of explanation that we can give to Power BI. Now, when we say visualization, so the data that you are dealing with, lakhs and millions of data that we just spoke about, that can be visualized in your Power BI by a single click. And I will show you how easy, without any programming, how we are going to achieve that one. And also, these reports can be shared across multiple users. It's like one user will be developing it, and then it can share across multiple business stakeholders. And they can also simply go and filter out. So for the business, it is like a end product where they will just simply go, filter, see, and get the insights. The data, when it is in a raw format, it will not give you any kind of overview. But the moment you put into the analytics or any dashboard, that's where you are helping the business to take the decisions. And also, apart from the management, it is also useful for us on a day-to-day activities. Even if you're not preparing a report for your management or anyone, even when you want to just analyze some simple data to conclude, then you will be using either Excel. But in Excel, it is very tedious if I need to sum up multiple files. So that's where the Power BI comes in, and which will help us to reduce our manual effort. I'll show you in a bit on that one. Now, as we just spoke about the benefits of Power BI, obviously it is very user friendly because there is nothing much you are developing in Power BI. Developing in the sense you are not writing a line-to-line code. It's more of drag and drop and choosing the options. That's how you can build. Of course, there is a bit of code in an advanced level wherein you want to apply some formulas. There you will go in depth. But most of the day-to-day activities will not be requiring that much of coding into Power BI. You can just drag and drop. And integration. When we say integration, imagine you are having data in Excel sheet and you are having data in SQL servers and you have data in a web page and lot of other data sources. But my goal is to ingest all the data and create a dashboard. Now, Power BI will give you a lot of connectors. It can read your Excel sheets. It can read your folders. Folders, when I say, I just need all the details inside a folder to be pulled into Power BI, and then I need to prepare a dashboard. No need to write a single line of code. You just point the data source and it will fetch all the details. That also we will see. And here when it says cloud services, apart from, there are multiple cloud services that in real time we will be using. So for any authentication system, when users are logging in, your authentication is stored in cloud. Cloud, when I say, it's nothing but your systems, your software is running in a hosted cloud where you have all the logs. So to analyze the logs, we can directly point to the cloud servers and we can get all the logs and then we can process it. In general, what happens is I need to write a code, establish the connectivity, get the connection proper, and then download the data. And then we need to process it. But in Power BI, we have a lot of connectors, which we can directly choose, configure, and then it will get the data for us. And as I said, collaboration. So multiple people can develop on a single report because in a single report, it might be a single page, but there might be 4 or 5 graphs in a single report. So individually, different people can work and stitch all these into a single report. And also, as I said, you can quickly share it with multiple stakeholders, provided the licensing are in place. And when we say cost effective, in general, when you go for any development, your development time, the effort that it takes, it depends upon the complexity of the integration and everything. But with Power BI, it all reduces at least by 90% when compared to the traditional development process. And scalability and sustainability. So this is like once you develop a report, and in the report, you might have written multiple conditions, multiple formulas. And there is no need to repeat all these formulas, even if you add additional Excel sheets. Let's say I have a monthly report. I have given all my formulas, everything for month of April. Now, there is one more report that is coming in June, May. Then no need to repeat all these formulas. It will automatically append the formulas into all the Excel sheets automatically. So it reduces the lot of manual efforts to that one. I will show you in the demo how we can reduce the manual efforts by a simple example. Okay, let's quickly jump into the demo. So I will show you a couple of demos wherein we will see what exactly Power BI looks like and what are the different options. So don't get distracted with multiple options. I will just focus you on where to focus and how to focus on that one. So this is a Power BI desktop application which I downloaded from the Microsoft website. I will share the links after this demo. So there are two versions of Power BI. One, a Power BI desktop version which you are currently seeing, which is installed in my local laptop. Two, there is a web-based version. And for the web-based version, you require licenses, and there is a 60 or 90 days of free license will be there, which you can go and explore. But without any licenses also, you can download and install this Power BI desktop tool, and you can start using that one. So if you start this from the top menu, from home, the first option that you see, get data. So these are the connectors which I just told you in the slides, where we have ready-made connectors to read data from. These are all different data sources. One you might be familiar is SQL Server, where the data is stored commonly, and also you can Excel workbooks. And there are other terminologies and technologies which you might not be aware of, but once you start using it, you can utilize as per your needs. And as I said, even from the web, import the data from the web page. It can directly get it from the web page and you can analyze. And also, if I click on more, so if you see logical breakdown of these data sources, these are all file-based data sources like your CSV, your XML, your JSON data, and folders, PDFs. Okay. And also this is a SharePoint, which is nothing but your repository, Microsoft provided container, which will act as a data storage, also a web front end. And again, if I go to databases, now if you see, there are a lot of databases that you can see, like IBM, Oracle. So these are all the ready-madely available connectors in our Power BI, which we can utilize as per the need. So Microsoft will keep on building these kind of connectors for us. Let's say if there is a new system came into the market, so they will invest and they will come up with the connectors. So most of the connectors which are enterprise level use will be available over here. We can choose and fill up the details, and then it will start consuming that one. Similarly, I'm not going for the Microsoft Fabric Power Platforms. So Dataverse, again, there is a this is a legacy one, which we will not focus on. So Dataverse is again from Power Platform, which is a Microsoft platform where we have different data sources. One is the Dataverse. So similar, if I just go one by one, it's a very lengthy list, but I will just wanted to focus on Azure because Azure is one of the enterprise platform wherein most of the enterprises will generate a lot of data. And mostly in industry, what happens is the SQL databases. Now everyone is moving to cloud. Nobody wants to maintain a server in the premises, and because maintaining a server is nothing but it's a very costly affair where you need to run patches, do a lot of things. So they just procure something from the Azure directly as a service, and they will just directly hold over there. So those kind of scenarios, we can always use this Azure SQL databases, and there are multiple data sources. So these are different data sources that we have in Azure. Okay. So let me cancel it out. So I use Excel workbook. So for now, I will just go with the data source which is already added. After this, I will show you how to add the data source with another example. For now, let's focus on how easy it is to ingest the data. So this is the sample data which has 2 years of sales. Now, I'm not developing anything. I just imported financial data. A quick thing that can be done is QA, question and answer. Now, I have not even drag and drop any visual. I'm just selecting on a Q&A. And because it understood the data, it gives us some predefined question list. And I'm not going with this question list as well. So it is like it's a conversational response from the Power BI on your data. Now, what I can say is, what is the average sale? See, I have not even seen what is this data. We have not given anything. We just dumped the data into the Power BI, and it is so powerful that it understands the context, even if you write in a single English, and it will give you the output. That is the simplicity that we see in Power BI. And if I want to split it by country, now it decided what graph it has to use, and it has shown us these details without even dragging and dropping any of the columns. Okay. So this is something which is very useful for the Q&A. And just coming to the structure of the data, what it is meant by this sigma signature that you are seeing over here. Any numerical data that we have, it will be represented in this format, numerical. If you see here, there is year and there is a date. So date, it understood and it segregates into all this year, quarter, month, and day. I will show you the actual data, and then you can visualize how Power BI is converting and how it is going to help. I will show it to in a graph. Okay. Now, let's say I don't want to see it in a graph mode because these are all countries, right? I wanted to see it in a graphical mode, which is more appealing. See, visualization is mostly on how good you present. That is what it matters, right? Now, the same visual, I just selected the same visual. And if you see this tab, visualization, this will help us to choose multiple type of visualization. There is a pie graph, your line graph, even the Python also. You can write your Python code and that also will generate the graphs for you. Now, what I am interested is on this one, map. The moment I select this one, now see, the data that it has, it mapped into the map and it is showing it here. From on a very high level, even if you don't know anything about the data, what we are seeing here, my sales is not in Africa. My sales is not in most of the Asian region, right? My sales is mostly in North America. And what we did, nothing. We just asked a question and converted the graph into the map. Now, this is why the visualization is very important, and this Power BI tool will help us in visualizing the data. Now, I just wanted to see what are the different countries, because everything is in blue, but I am unable to distinguish which country I am seeing, what it is, right? Now let's focus on these parameters. Okay. Any visualization that you select, it will have its own visual components, and it will also have more formatting and also the analysis, which is an AI one, which we will not be speaking at this point, but it has analytical features, which is not available in this version. Now I'm just coming back to the visual. Now the moment I see I have location country, that's where it is just populating everything over here. Now I want to see what are the different countries. Now what I just need to do is drag into legend. Legend is something where it will slice the existing data into these categories. Now if you see, it has given color to different countries, different colors, right? Now it is very easy for me to see what are all the different things that are appearing in the sales and what are all the different countries. Okay, let me go back to the table view. Okay. So this is the actual table that I imported into this system. These are all the different values that I have. As you see, even though I name it as a year, but for the system, it is just a number. But when you say the date, which is in the proper format, it understands and it automatically gives us the date format. Now, I'm just going to just click new page. Okay, in a single Power BI dashboard, you can create multiple pages like this one. The moment you click a plus, it will add a new page into this one. Now into this page, I wanted, let's say, date and what is the profit. Now this is how it is showing, and I'm not satisfied with the tabular column. You just go and pick like this. This is also not giving us the complete picture, right? Even though there are some numbers, I'm not able to see that numbers directly. I need to hover on this one, and then I'm able to see what is the detail. Now our next step is how to simplify this one. Now you just need to select this graph, and then, as I said, in the visualization, go to this formatting. This formatting will help you to define what needs to be visible and what should not. Now, if you expand X column, if you see, this is a date range. Now it automatically took the continuous. Now we can either switch it or we can just leave it like that one. Okay. Mostly my intention is to show the labels onto this data, right? So there is something called data labels. It is off. Now the moment I turned it, if you see, there are these two numbers coming in. 2013 it was 3.9 million and it was 13.03 million. Still, there are these different options that you have. I'm not getting what column that I have included over here, right? Because the title is off. The moment I on the title, it gives me the title of this column, like sum of the profit. That is what I am seeing over here. And value when you say that is your 13.0 million, 3.9 million. This is the value, and the top one is your label. Label and value are something which we are seeing it over here. And you can always increase the font so that it is clear, and you can make it bold, italic, whatever you want, and you can also give a color. And also the display units. If you see here, I can display in thousands. Similarly, millions, billions, and whatever we wanted. Because sometimes what happens is the moment you select millions, it might round off some of the details and it is not giving the complete picture. Where you need more precision, you can just reduce the unit and then you can see the actual value. Now, if you come back over here, there are these arrows that you are seeing on top of a visual. Since I have added date as an x-axis, now I am interested to go into the year. I just don't want to see only at the year level. I want to see at the quarter level. Now what happens is this drill down. The moment I select this drill down and I click on one of the graph, it goes to the next level. I clicked on 2013 and now it's splitted into Q3 and Q4 and now it is showing. This is the automatic functionality that is given by the Power BI directly. So this can be visualized like this one. Okay, I can directly go up. Similarly, there is something called it will show you the total drop down. I will just go to the main this one, and now if I select hierarchy, so on a single chart, it is just split at 2013 and 2014, and it is showing to you this one. Okay, so this is something called drill down, wherein if you have your x-axis further bifurcated, you can use these drill downs and move forward into deep analysis of this data. Now I'm just switching off this drill down. It means even if I click on this one, nothing will happen. Only if the drill down is on, then your corresponding clicks will activate and go to the next level of the data. That is how this drill down will work. Okay, so till now what we discussed is this is the data section where you can see all your columns and you can choose whatever the columns that you require into this visual. And also for the visual, this is the visualization part wherein you can see what is there in x-axis, what is in y-axis, what are different legends. Now, see, here I have not added any legends, right? Now, I can do the same thing. I can just add country. Now the graph is converted. So based on our requirement, we can keep adding into this and further bifurcate. Now, if you see this small multiple, I will just show you the outcome and then I will explain it. I am adding the same, let me add back into the legend. What it does is 2013, what are all the different countries and for each country, what is the amount? Now this is very congested and is not appearing good. Now what I can do is, I just split the entire section. It's like copy pasting, but it is a split of country. Which is easy for understanding and it's not clumsy, right? Canada, I can just focus on this one, France, Mexico. So this is the use of small multiples. It will replicate the single visualization into multiple slices of whatever we are putting into the small multiples. Let me remove this one. And now I'm just going back to filter. see whatever the fields that we have added, automatically those fields will come by default into filter. And in filter, there are three levels of filters. One, filter on this visual. So this box which you are seeing, sum of profits by year, this is one box, right? This is one visual. Now in a report, I can add multiple visuals as well. So just go to visualization. Now let me add a tabular visualization. Now this is the second visualization. Now let me expand this one. I will add country and I will add discount bands and what is the gross sale. Now these are two different visuals. Okay, visual is nothing but your individual graphs or the data representation. Okay, these are two different visuals. Now if I come to filter and if I select a visual, these, if I modify anything in this filter, let's say I just select only January. So only this above part is changing. I am not changing anything in the below one because this is a visual specific filter. Okay. I'm just removing this. Now, if I scroll down, filters on this page. As you are seeing here, there are two pages, right? Now, this next one is the filters on the page. Now, let me add country into this one. Now, if I apply a filter like Canada, so this affects both, not even two, whatever the number of reports that you have in this page, everything will be filtered based on your selection. This is the second filter, which is a filter on this page. And now the third one is filter on all pages. It's like whatever the records that we created till now. Now, if I need to apply a single filter on all the pages, I'm just selecting only Canada. Now this is refreshed automatically with only Canada data. And if I go to page 4, the rest of the countries are gone, right? Only Canada. That is what you are seeing over here. So this is how you will be using the filters at 3 levels. I'm just clearing this filter. And if you want, we can also just delete the filter altogether. So these are the 3 main sections that we will be using to see what are the columns are present and what column we require. We can just drag and drop as I just did, right, for this tabular column. I just dragged and dropped. I have not done anything. It just comes over there. Now, if I select 2013, okay, I think it is drill down is still on. 1 second. Let me go on. I'm switching off the drill down. Now, my requirement is I will have multiple visuals, right? Your data will be complex. Then in a single visual, you will not be able to represent all the attributes. That is where we go with multiple visuals, wherein we focus on set of attributes in each of the visuals. Now, what I'm seeing over here is what are the discount bands that I have applied and what is the gross sale. And I wanted to, and I wanted to filter this particular section based on the selection that I do over here. Now, to do that one, there is something called cross report. Drill through cross report. By default, it will be off. Now, the moment you see on, now if you just select 2013, now your data is filtered on 2013. And if I just select somewhere else, it will reset. Vice versa, if I just select Canada, now if you see this graph is also changing. So this is called your cross report filtering, wherein every click that you do on a corresponding visual, the rest of the visuals inside that page will automatically get filtered. That is how this cross report will be working. So this kind of combination will give the end user the easiness to drill down, filter without moving anywhere, right? I am just staying only in this page and I can filter on 2013. I can just go deep. Let me go deep and I can just step quarter 1. Now everything will be, so I just remove this one and now January. So this is how this will be easy for the end user to go through multiple data levels and filter it, and there is no coding involved into this one. Everything is out of the box. We just need to configure it properly. Now, I'm just coming back to the filter. Okay. As a Power BI developer, you are putting some filters over here and doing everything. But what if I need to give a filter to the user? Because user will not be having access to this data visualization and filters. What we generally publish is this part, which is the report part. But still, I wanted to give them a filter. Now for that one, there is something called Slicer. I just downloaded a newer version, so I think I got a new version of this one, Slicer. This Slicer, I will just pull the same thing over here. This is the option that will be visible for the end user, where after you publish this to them, now they can also filter on this report, because the moment I put a Slicer, it acts as a filter for the entire page. This is nothing but your erase is nothing but is your clear selection. You can also just show it as a table. If you just wanted to see if there are more number of details that are present, then you can just show it as a table and select whatever is required. So for any visual, if you just click on the visual, you will see these default options. This is also a filter, which we can do it directly over here. But for end users, we always give Slicer, wherein they can easily select on this one. And if there are multiple widgets or visuals into a single dashboard, and if I just want to focus on one visual, then I can just click on focus mode for that particular visual, and that will occupy the entire space, and user can focus on that one. That is your focus mode. And also, if you see over here, there is an option of export data. So the moment you click on the export data, there are two formats. One is CSV and one is this one CSV. Okay. For the CSV, there is a data row limit. It's not like we can just export the laptop records. It's, I think, 30,000. I can double check and let you know, but it's a very limited export that we are going to get. Once you filter and you want to store that data and share it across on an email or something for your references, then you can export that data as well. Mostly for evidence purposes or for the reference purposes, we just try to use this export. After filtering and slicing and dicing all the data, what was the final one, we can just export it out. Okay. So now let me start another instance. I'll just recap again in a minute about what we spoke about. One thing is on the visual, where you can directly select whatever the visual that you require. And then for that visual, you can directly drag and drop the columns that you wanted. And for a given visual, you can go back to this visualization pan and scroll down and see all the other details that you require over here and reconfigure them. If you want to add into legend, multiple small multiples or tool tips, whatever you want, you can just add over there. And tooltips, when I say, the moment I hover, I am getting date, year, and sum of profit. But I wanted to add few more details to that one. Let's say I want to see discounts, but not in a graph, but the moment I hover, I wanted to see what was the discounts that was there. Now this is something called tooltip, which you can add as an additional. You can add units sold. So it is a multiple selection where you can add more details. Okay, just on a hover, it will just give you the tooltips. And this is only for the current visual because I selected this visual and I'm adding this tooltip to particular visual. That is how your tooltip will help because not everything can be seen at a single shot. That's where we'll be using the tooltip, which will save the space, but also give an alternate to the end user to see required details. And the moment you add the tooltip, if you click on the drop down, you can always see what is that you wanted to give, whether it is average, some minimum, maximum, whatever you wanted to do. These are the two options because this is the number column, percentage of grand total. So this is something which out of the box that you can see and you can configure and utilize them. And the moment you remove, your tooltips are gone. Only the default one, the two columns that we added, that is coming into this one. Okay. And we discussed on the filter, three kind of filters: filter visual level, page level, and all pages. Okay. So we also discussed on this table view, wherein we can see the raw data that we imported into this one. Now, I'm just going to open a new Power BI. So this is the new Power BI that you will straight away get out. So I will just start with the blank report. Now, I will tell you one scenario. So these are monthly reports. Okay. The scenario is every month you will get a report. So it's a fresh Excel sheet that you are going to get, and these reports will keep increasing month by month. Now I need to have a dashboard which will automatically refresh. I don't want to go and modify anything in a dashboard. I want to develop it once and use it, but it should be useful even with the latest data. For that purpose, what we do is, for now, I'm just removing these two files, June and May. One thing which we are seeing is, first I will place one file. Okay, even if you fill multiple files, it is also fine, but we will place one file over here, this April report. And now in this Power BI, go to the mode. In the file section, if you see this folder. Now what we are doing is, I want every file that is placed into this folder to be considered automatically because future files anyway I'm not going to get. Now I am getting the selection, what folder I need to choose. Now, PC data one for the monthly report. Now this is the part. So what it found is there is something called April report.xls, which is an Excel sheet. And this is the folder which we have given. Now this combine, this is the option that we need to use. The moment I click on combine, what happens is combine and load. I'm just combine. The transform which you are seeing is something where you create a different mapping out of the existing table. I will show you, I will explain you what is the transform, but for now, I'll just going for combine and load. So in the Excel sheet, this was the data. So I can see the preview, because if it is a very huge Excel sheet, then we will just see a simple preview. And if you are okay with that one, you can just click on OK. Now this will create a couple of default transformations. I will show you what are the different transformations that it does by default. Okay, this is summary. Two records are added. Now let's say you are giving all the requirements and you are putting all your formulas and everything. And just for simplicity, I'm just taking this example, a tabular report, wherein I'll just pick what is the city and what is the count. Okay, now let's assume that we have done and our report is ready. Now let's also put month, because month is something which we are going to get. Now let's say next month you got new report. Now I need to automatically refresh these without doing any modification. Now, how it is going to happen is, in the same folder, what I will be doing is, I will just copy paste May month report. I'm just copying this May file, pasting it over here. And in Power BI, I just need to refresh. See? Now, you have your Power BI dashboard configured to dynamically pick up any new file that comes into that folder, and it will keep on updating your visual, even whether it is a tabular or even if it is something column wise, anything, it just get auto refreshed once you click on the refresh button. There is no need to
Bhuvan
again
sir,
map the folder. Yes,
Bhuvan sir,
yes, please.
can you please, it appears that the volume is, can you put your mic a bit nearer? Because there
One
are
minute.
some questions regarding that the volume is a bit less.
So, is it okay now?
Yeah, I think it's better. Is it okay, everybody? Come on, quick answer. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, fine. So here what I was telling is, once you configure into the folder and you keep on adding the additional files, you just need to refresh it, and then it will automatically pull out the corresponding records and it will show it to you. But the only prerequisite, that is, all the files should have the same format, the same columns. As long as your reports are in the same format with the same columns, it will automatically append and it will show it to you. Okay, similarly, the same. If I just export June data, refresh it, that's it. It keeps increasing. Okay, we got April, May, June, everything is here. Now I will show you the transformation. Now the scenario is different. Now I have a monthly report where I have city, where I have count, and where I have month. There is another Excel sheet which has city and country, two different Excel sheets. Now let me import that sheet. Now there is something called country. So now see, in the preview, what it is showing, it is not picking up the city and country as a header. It is telling column 1, column 2. But I know my first row is my header and the rest of the things are values. Now this will not work with me. So what we need to do is, we click on transform data. Okay. Now, these are the steps that it has taken. Okay. But it is a source. It has taken from country and it applied, it extracted that, it has to get the data from the sheet one. And it has applied some transformation saying that column one is text, column two is text. Now I need to promote my first row as columns. And if you see here in the transform section, there is a default option called use first row as header. The moment I click on that one, now this city, country is coming as first header. Now I just need to close and apply. Okay. Now you see two things. One is your monthly report and one is the sheet one which has city and country. Now for the user, I need to include country over here. I cannot just drag the country directly into this visual because this is a different table and this is a different table altogether. For that one, let's go to this table view. These are the two things, right? Now here I need to have a country. For that one, here I can create a new column. This column is nothing related to your Excel sheet. This is a new column that I am going to create in the Power BI directly. Say country. Now there is something called lookup value. Now see, most of the formulas are self-explanatory. I am using a formula called lookup, and what it is asking me, from which table and which column you are getting the result. Now my result is country from sheet one. I am selecting this one and then a comma. Now in the country, what is the search column? I have city here and the sheet one also city here. I select search it on city. And one, for the column in the city, which is in the sheet one, what value you need to pass? I am passing the city value from monthly report. If I just type city, this is the monthly report. And then I can close it out. So first option is what is the output that you are looking for. Second option is what column in sheet one you are going to filter on. I am filtering on city. And what is the value that you are passing? I am passing the city from this one. Now the moment I click on enter, see, this is the VLOOKUP in Power BI wherein you can use another sheets and bring the values into this table. Now you observe over here, if you see, this is the formula FX formula and this is the country. Now your country is in monthly report. Now I can safely go back and I can include country directly from here. Then it will work. This is how you combine multiple sheets and you can put a VLOOKUP and bring values into single sheet. In real time, most of the values will be very scattered. One Excel sheet will have 10 columns. The other dependent data will be in some other database, but they will have a common factor. Common factor in the sense, in this case, city is the common between these two tables. Similarly, there will be multiple data sources, multiple relationships. For us to work, we need to get everything into a single table so that our visualization will easily work. This is how we will do this VLOOKUPs and do this one. Now, let me go back to the transformation. See here, source.name. I don't require this to be visible over here, right? I just need month, count, city, and country. Because every time I go over here, I will get confused of this one. Now, what I can do is transform data. If you see here, this is the transform data. The moment I click on the transform data, see, we have two monthly and then sheet one. Everything has its own steps. These are all the steps that it has automatically created. I will show you in advanced editor. See, this is the code that it has written for all these steps. First, it says I need to read everything from this folder. And then I need to select all the details and transform the file So any file that I have, I need to get the content of the file. It automatically gets that file. And it is renaming the value of the first column as source.name. So these are all the different transformations that it has applied. Okay. Now if you see here, change type, this source.name, it is text, int. Sometimes what happens is this might misjudge and give a different type. Then we can always come here and modify, or we can always right click or click on this one and we can do all these activities. For now, what I am doing is I don't require this at all. I'll just going to remove it. Now this is my table. Now what I did is in the transformation is something that is the second stage. First stage is reading from your table. Second stage is transforming. And third stage is the transformed data will load into your Power BI desktop. Now the moment I click on close and apply, once it applies, see your source.name column vanished. So like this, you can do your transformation work, which is which any other complex work that you need to do in the transformation itself, and then you can get only your cleaned data into this one. That is how you will configure your transformation, your formulas, your visuals, everything at one time, and your dashboard will be reused. That is the simplicity that you are going to build into the system. See, from here also, it just got vanished. And here you can also just rename, because this is nothing but your replica of the data that after transformation it is coming. For ease of the purpose, you can always rename this one. Okay, this is how you are going to use. Okay, so I will just summarize what we have done. We imported the data using get data. Instead of Excel workbook, what we use is folder, because we wanted to automatically read all the data inside the folder, which has similar structure. And then we had one more list, which is country list, which is an Excel sheet. We imported that using the Excel workbook, and we used table view. And in table view, for monthly report, we created a new country column. If I click on the country column, it shows you the formula that we have written. Okay, it's even you can write a simple formula as well. If you just go to the table tools, I'm just creating a new column. New column, it's nothing but, let's say, I just give it a new value. What I want is, I'm just selecting monthly report count into, let's say, 20 times. That's it. Your new column is ready, and you can directly use that in your visual. So like this, you can generate all your formulas, your required columns and everything, and you can utilize table views. And there is one thing which I have not touched, which we will not cover entirely into this one. So if you see this model view, this is nothing but your traditional way of representing the data. See, it has many to one relationship. So the moment I kept a VLOOKUP and everything, it automatically get this mapping. Okay. So for a complex data structure, we will define this data module, and it is very easy to visualize what is linked with which one. So that's how your model also will work. Okay. And I'm just seeing if I have missed anything. We covered data, covered filters, visualization, your multiple data sources, and multiple pages. Okay, so recently Microsoft has also given this Copilot. This is a paid service. As you see the QA, right? In previous one, I just showed you the Q&A. This Q&A is very limited, but the moment I go for Copilot, it will it is a generative AI backed service where you will write the same type of queries, but complex queries also it can understand, and it can produce, it can create your dashboard based on your inputs. That's the power of the Copilot. I will not be able to demo because I don't have this license at this point. But this Copilot is something which will even reduce your development work in Power BI, and it will create a lot of dashboards, and it will also give the suggestions for you. So this is one great feature of this one. Now, once everything is done, and if you connected to the Power BI online, which requires the license, you can publish this. Uh, does anyone has any question? I see something someone is using to write on the screen. Okay. Okay. I think I pretty much covered most of the topics that I wanted to cover. We can have a Q&A.
All of you have been very quiet all this time. Quite a few of you might be having questions. Can you just type those questions in the chat box, please? Bhuvan sir, will you have a look at the chat box?
I'm just opening it.
Yeah.
So see, by default, if you just add a visual, it will be blank, but you need to include both x-axis and y-axis. If you just go here, you need to pull the data, proper data, then it will automatically get this x-axis and y-axis field. If it is not filling automatically, please fill it manually. What should be the x-axis and what should be the y-axis? You can directly drag and drop the columns into axis columns. Then your visualization will work. And also, are you able to see these columns or not? First verify that one. If multiple columns are coming, then you can always drag them into axis. How to use map and field map visualization. So map, it will be useful when you have your one of the columns talking about locations, or if you have a latitude and longitude, then also you can use maps, wherein there is an option for map even to select the latitude and longitude. Let me go back. It depends upon what data that we have. Because this data doesn't have any longitude and latitude, it has a proper country names. That's where we use location column. If not, you can always point the latitude and longitude, and it will also pinpoint into the world map. This is the option that you need to use the world map. Only use if you have a location detail. If there is no location detail, then this map will not be useful for you. If I want to learn more about this, where can I do? Can I use official documentation or maybe other channel? Obviously, you can go to a lot of YouTube channels which are there, and also Microsoft training material also will be there in their websites. And you can also reach out to any other tutorials. I can provide you the learning path in Microsoft, the PPT that I have prepared. Along with that, I will just provide you where to download and the learning path, where you will have some samples. You can use that one. Let me
We
quickly
will
copy
share
paste.
this in the WhatsApp channel, sir.
Okay. If you want, I can just paste it in the chat, the URL. Let me go back over here. There are two URLs. Dataverse option, as I said, it is also one kind of, you think it as a data container. When you go with the Power Apps, you can use Dataverse as a data storage. Then that data, you can directly use Dataverse connector and get the data into your Power BI. That's a direct connector that you have. It's not that everyone will be using the Dataverse. It all depends upon your requirement and licensing. Power BI, I just provided the link. How can we make changes in the data or dashboard to the user with the combination? You can only see the changes, not all data. When you publish the Power BI, user will not be seeing all these tabs, this data tab, nothing will be shown to him or her. What they will be seeing is this visualization and any slices that you give. That is only visible to the user when you publish. You will publish to some other colleagues with the data sources where they can see the data, but usually when you publish, you will just publish only the report, so they will not see the entire your data, because mostly you will be loading lakhs of records, so we will not be publishing the table. We will publish this report structure visualization.
Sir, there is one more question from Shakti.
I'm just
Sir,
coming one.
can you explain how to publish the report and how to create a text cards?
Publishing, right? Publishing, 1 second. Currently, I'm using the desktop version, which is not connected to any Power BI services. What happens is, in general, when you have a Office 365 account and you log in with the Office 365 login, then you will be able to log in with your official email ID, and then it will be published to your workspace or even in MS Teams. So that is how you will be able to publish, but I will not be able to demo it right now. If you can just go to the one of the link which I gave, you register for a free 60 days trial, and then you'll be able to use this option. This option will have just the destination, what is the workspace, and you can also publish to a particular person so that they will also able to access it. But the moment you publish it, the receiving party also should have license. That is one approach that we have in the licensing agreement. And if it is the enterprise, then they can publish to the entire organization also. There will be maximum 2 to 3 steps after clicking of this publish. You just log in and then select the workspace or the users and then click publish. And what was the other question?
Sir, there is one more question.
Yeah.
Are animated visuals possible in Power BI?
Animated visuals, I haven't tried, and I cannot comment on that one. I can check and let you know. But mostly, whatever the dashboard that we have built till now, there are no animations. But the requirement mostly will come on interactive dashboards. where your copilot will assist you. That will be your most of the requirements for the interactiveness. But animations, I need to check. Till now, we didn't get any such kind of requirement.
Sir, I was, as we were talking today afternoon, this was basically a small small boot camp on how to become a data science engineer. With your experience, if you can throw some light on these are all young kids, sir, future data science engineers.
Okay.
So if you could throw a light on what they should be learning, what are all the skills that are required to become a data science engineer, I think it will be helpful to everybody, sir.
Okay. So for a data science engineer, see there are two paths, right, for them. One, most of the people, I mean, not most of the people, two paths for them. One is to purely analyze the data, bring up these dashboards, that kind of work. Second is to develop your ML models. These are the two things. And now new one is your generative AI. These are the three things that they can choose to. In generative AI, your ML or your data modeling will not play much role, wherein your prompt engineering and the way you approach the problem, that is most crucial into your generative AI engineering. But the data science part, statistics is something which they need to focus on, which will be the basic for any data science engineer. You need to have that zeal to focus on the stats, because your entire AI ML is based on the stats only. Second is, there are a lot of ready-made tools in like Azure and Google, wherein most of the work is your AutoML. AutoML is something wherein instead of you refining your models and identifying which model is based on all those things, it will enhance you and give more results quicker. One simple thing which I can say is, let's start with the generative AI and then go your ML. Because right now the most of the use cases are going to generative AI, and it is also very easy to learn generative AI as well. Data science ke liye, they have to dedicate on the statistics and they have to go for MLs. What are the different MLs that they can use? What are different techniques that they wanted to apply? That's a very high level that I can give. If they have any specific questions on them, then
Yeah, so
because
there's one more question. This is Mr. Ankit Chowdhury. He says, sir, can we link Power BI with dynamic websites for user input data every time and get visualizations?
See, your Power BI, as I just shown you, even I have linked it to your one of the folder, right? But you need to go and refresh it. Only after refreshing, your data will be published. Now you need to write some automation to that one, wherein you will crawl the website and get the content and feed it into your Power BI. On a high level, what I can tell is, you can create your website content and place it in one of the files, and then programmatically you keep updating and refreshing your Power BI. Not a straightforward one, but it is achievable.
Bhuvan sir, you are providing that PPT link. You are providing the links to download Power BI also in the PPT link?
Yes. I already pasted in the chat, but it's already there in the PPT.
Yeah.
I'll send it. And someone has asked Excel versus Power BI.
Yes, sir.
See, in Excel, one thing is, I just showed you, right, multiple Excel sheets wherein you will get monthly reports. How do you tackle that in Excel sheet? You did your VLOOKUPs, you did your pivot table and everything in one Excel sheet. Now new data came in. Again, someone has to manually copy paste the entire data into the original sheet where you have done your formulas. And the text will keep on growing, there is a manual dependency on copy pasting. So there is a room for error and there is a room for rework also. Now in Power BI, once you configure, there is no need to do any manual activity of copy pasting as well. Everything you will be automating. The file will, your job, scheduled job will automatically place your file into the folder, and your Power BI will be refreshed for every 24 hours, whatever the time that you want. That's it. And Power BI can also handle huge data. The moment you load huge data into Excel, your system will hang. Your entire system will not respond. But Power BI can handle that one, and it can smoothly process data. And you
Sir,
cannot do the transformations as well in Excel sheets.
sir, there is one more question which says, can we publish all this in GitHub?
GitHub में hmm,
My guess is it's just a visualization. I don't think you can do it.
we have not done into GitHub.
Guys, these tools are so simple that you should not be really worried about GitHub at this stage. When you are doing Python programming or R programming and developing projects, I think you should be worried about GitHub and stuff like that. If I'm not wrong, sir.
I think, see, in GitHub, what they can maintain is the PBX files and all those things, which will be a central repository where in future they can, anyone can just download and use that one. See, whether Tableau or Power BI, it all depends upon your financial budget of the company. Some companies uses both Tableau and Power BI, and some companies are moving from Tableau to Power BI, and some are only sticking to Tableau. So it all depends upon the company's decision and the licensing costs. It's very dynamic. But Power BI, the advantage is Microsoft has the GenAI capability, which they introduced the Copilot. That will be very huge boost to Power BI. So mostly it will be in upfront usage of Power BI. Because for the business also, it is very easy. There is no need of a developer for every visual. Your Copilot will create. Python visualization, I have not prepared with any data, but what happens is once you select the Python visual, you can write your code, let's say country. Here you can write your pandas, whatever the details that you need, and you can also write the your the plots that you are going to write. The same in your Jupyter notebook, whatever you are writing to create the scatter plot and everything, you can write the code directly over here, and that will appear into this visualization. Just need to select the Python one and then drag the columns that you require. Your pandas data frame, you can directly build your data frame by the column that we picked. I just selected only country, right? Now if I just select, so this is the sample that you will get. And you just need to write your the rest of the 2 or 3 lines codes of scatter plot and all those things, and then that plot will come over here. The advantage, I mean, the why we need to use Power BI with the Python, why not I can directly write in the Jupyter notebook is, if you are connecting to some other databases, in your Python, again, you need to write all the connections and everything. But in your Power BI, you have ready-made connectors. And if your data source has a ready-made connector, it is easy for you to just link up and write your queries directly over here. That will save you a lot of development work. Any other questions? What mathematics are needed? Linear algebra, stands are more of the calculus topics. It's more on the stats. Stats concept is something that you need to focus on. Okay. These I will not be able to answer because I am not a core data scientist. I think this we already discussed, but I think see, you will not be checking in the data as such into the GitHub. Only your code that you have written in Python for model creation that you will be putting into GitHub. I already provided the link. Okay. If anyone can easily visualize data using Power BI, then why company hire data analyst? See, data analyst and Power BI, it is not directly tightly coupled. For data analyst, what they need to do is to understand the data and the processing, the pre-processing that you do before you pass it on to your models. Those things will be understood by data analyst. Power BI is just a visualization tool. It's not a data analyst tool. It's just a business analyst tool where you will just visualize the data. Okay. And the follow-up question might be if it is just this simple to configure, drag and drop, this is only introductory, right? So there will be complex requirements, complex filters that comes into picture, which business people will not be aware of. I just showed you a VLOOKUP. Most of the business users will not be able to write the VLOOKUP as well. Similarly, there will be a lot of other DAX queries. The query that we are writing is nothing but a DAX query, which based on the requirement, the complexity will also increase, which requires a developer to do it. And it also requires some testing and everything, right? After my filter is working or not, all the visuals are coming properly or not, everything will be checked by us. It's mostly on the DAX queries. And with Copilot, it will also generate it, but business will not be able to get the data mapping directly into this one because sometimes you need to create your models that business will not be doing it. So this groundwork will be done by the developer. On top of that, business can use it more efficiently by using other features like Copilot and this visual filters. There is always a gap between the business user and the actual developer. Oh, group chat. Let me give it a try. This is your learning path where you have Microsoft learning material for Power BI. I don't have any specific YouTube channel to be suggested. Most of the YouTube channels cover most of the parts of Power BI. Should be you just need to experiment on your own. That's the key to learn. And one important thing, you can utilize ChatGPT for any queries and try to utilize it. It helps a lot. Just go to Bing Chat or anything, and you just type your questions, and it will give the suggestions. 80% of the suggestions it will work. 20% we just need to apply our knowledge and tweak the response and do it. It's not 100% which GenAI will give you. 80% it will give the directions to you. Okay, I think there are no other questions, right?
Yes, sir. Can you just give a 2 or 3 minute brief overview of what we did today, sir?
Sure. Okay, on a very high level, what we touched upon is what are the different data types, how to get the data into the Power BI using Get Data, different platforms that we have, different connectors. Once the data is in, where to see this data, that is your data column, and all the columns will be listed over here. This is something which we discussed. And what are all different visualizations that we have over here, and how to drag and drop into the visualization. And apart from this type of visualization, the corresponding values, how to set the your x-axis or tool tips, cross reporting, and also the formatting. These are the different things that we discussed. And filters, vi- visual level filter, page level filter, and all page level filters, and also slicer, which is for end user to filter out. This is for the developer, but this is for end user. If you need to give any filter to end user, you can give slicers and use this one. And we see the table view, and we also covered how to create a new column, and also covered what are all the uh, two functions, one VLOOKUP and one simple math function where we just multiplied it by 20. So you can create columns and write the queries over there. And the data model where we can see the relationships, and also using multiple Excel sheets and automatically picking up the data from new Excel sheets. These are all the things that we have covered in this session. And okay, this one, transform data, when to use this transform data. Hope this will be helpful for you, because even see whether you go for data scientist role or any role, this visualization will help you even just to create your simple reports in a project. Sometimes you might not be a data analyst, but you might go to some other development project. There also, this Power BI tool will help you to create quick reports and to understand the data gaps. Not everyone is a data analyst, and not only data analysts can do these jobs, right? Simple things can also be achieved by everyone by using this Power BI. So this will be a helpful tool, just like an Excel. As everyone uses Excel, put pivot, VLOOKUPs and everything, your Power BI also will be used on more effectively. And it's very simple to learn. ठीक है ना? Um,
I think you're done with your conclusion also.
yeah.
Okay. సార్ మీరు కొంచెం మీ స్క్రీన్ షేరింగ్ ఆపేస్తారు.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Bhuvan sir, for giving us your valuable time. I know how hectic it is in the IT industry. You could take out some time for our students. I think they're definitely benefited by your experience. గోపి గారు, అది మీరు షేర్ చేస్తారా స్క్రీన్? యా గైస్, దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఈవెంట్స్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ గాట్ lined up for you. July 17th, Wednesday, which is Muharram, we have got AI for everyone, delivered by Mr. Arpit Yadav, who has got 15 plus years of experience in AI ML. Second, the most important thing that each one of us as students, I don't know, I have been a teacher for 24 years now, but I think I'm still a student because I've stopped growing up after 21, 22, 23 years, 22 years. One of the areas which we find what you call, I think I'll open my camera. I'll have to face somebody. Are you able to see me? Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Right. Well, the second on 19th of July, that is Friday, how to crack your aptitude test is will be discussed by Mr. Sridhar Jalapati, who is a very, very renowned faculty for uh, aptitude all over India. And on 20th of July, there is somebody who's going to talk about an importance of resume. Can you tell me who it is? Do you recognize that fellow? You, sir. Pavitra, wonderful. You only, sir. So, on 17th of July, we will be discussing AI for everyone. We will be having... Okay. It's me. Fine, great. On 17th of July, we are going to have AI for everyone by Arpit sir. On 19th of July, which is a Friday, 17th of July is a holiday. That is the reason why we have put it on Wednesday. 19th of July, we are going to have how to crack your aptitude test by Mr. Sridhar Jalapati. And on 20th of July, Raghvendra sir will be talking of importance of resume in recruitments. So these are the programs that we have got lined up for you. Point number one. Point number two, on the left side of the screen, you will see bit.ly/LST certificate. Everybody from day one was only bothered about the certificate. Nobody was interested in the course, if I am not wrong. All people want a certificate so that they can put it on their resume. Is it not? Yes, sir, or no, sir? Come on, give me answers now. No, sir. Shravya, Pavitra, yes, sir. Somebody is telling the truth. Very good. Fine, thank you. Bit.ly/LST certificate. This link has been posted in your in the WhatsApp channel of our group of our organization. Please fill up that channel. After you fill up please fill up that form. After you fill up that form, the certificate will be individually emailed to every one of you. I hope since the last 3 days I've got channel link, sir. Gopi sir, can you share the channel link please in the chat? Himanshu Kumar, kahan se ho?
It's on the top of the creative, sir. Join.
Yeah.
WhatsApp channel.
Himanshu Kumar, if you look at the top of this sheet, you will see that there is this thing. Gopi, Gopi sir, can you also share this slide in the WhatsApp channel?
Yeah, I'll be sharing the details.
Anirudh, it will be, don't worry, your certificate will not go anywhere. हिमांशु व्हाट्सएप चैट, हिमांशु बेटा ऊपर है देखो, राइट साइड टॉप कॉर्नर में. संकेत जगताप, थैंक यू वेरी मच, गॉड ब्लेस यू. So this is for the next 3 or for the next week. These are the programs that we are going to be lining up for you. I would suggest all of you should be listening to this. One of the major reasons why we should be listening to this is also very simple. The reason is we assume that we know a lot of things about our branch or our future. We don't. Just think about one thing. Since our UKG onwards till today, we have never taken any decision on ourselves. We have never taken a decision based on our interests. Now it is the time to take decisions based on our interests. And Learn Square Technologies is going to provide you with many more such opportunities, wherein you will be able to hear from subject experts from various industries or various aspects of the IT industry, and you will be able to make an informed decision by all by yourself. With this, I will say thank you very much to all of you. God bless you all. We will meet on when? When will when will we meet next week? 17th. Mohana Sandhya, thank you very much. 20th July. Okay, so who is not attending 17th and 18th, 19th? Thank you very much. God bless you all. And we will meet on 17th of July. We will hear from Arpit sir on the topic of AI for everyone. God bless you all and thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, Bhuvan sir.
Thank you all.
Gopi, anything else to be conveyed?
One, the student need to submit their details on this link provided.
Yeah.
For all the updates in regard to
That you don't have to worry. For the certificate, they will do anything.
for all the upcoming events and updates, they should be a part of our channel. So the corresponding next week links would be provided in the channel itself. So be tuned onto the channel.
Okay. Guys, be tuned into Learn Square Technologies WhatsApp channel. We have got lots of things we will talk about. After talking about importance of resume, I think I'll talk about how to create a very good, compelling LinkedIn profile also. How do you think the idea will be? मानस, हर एक चीज को सर्टिफिकेट की जरूरत नहीं रहती ना.
Upcoming events.
Chalo, there are some Himanshu and Vivek have said that the LinkedIn profile also we will do. We will plan something very soon. Guys, thank you very much. And shall we say good night now? Yes, sir. Good night, sir. Good night, sir. Everybody say good night.